Oh, you sorry.
Number.
Bloody hell, that was that Lambalti pizza, man.
With
It's
with
all about,
pineapple.
it was bad timing. It was bad timing. There's no introduction today. Today is all about Gap Shop. But you know what? Nadir has become, I think this is the same Nadir that every single time you go back, because I like to engage. If you look at the shows, obviously Avi thinks he's too big for him for that sort of stuff. Gene thinks he's even bigger for that sort of stuff. You know, engaging with the community, saying thank you to people. You know, it just goes a long way going back into the show and just replying to a few people. You know, it's a nice touch, isn't it? But these guys obviously don't get the that sort of PR side or the human side. But it's okay. It's okay. But I think this is Nadir, who is always first to comment after the show. He always says, boys, big up, very good show, and keep up with the work. And you know what? If it is, and if it isn't, shout out to you, Nadir. If it is, then it's a bigger shout out to you as well. Those comments, every single show, don't go unnoticed. And thank you so much for all your love and all your support. And again, for becoming a BNR Ultra. And joining him is Nadush. He's become a YouTube member as well. And for the guys thinking, what the hell is he on about? What is a new member? It's becoming a BNR Ultra. It comes, you get into the Ultra WhatsApp group. There's quite a few members now, and it's one of the best groups. I keep saying the same thing, but it's just plain simple truth. That is one of the best WhatsApp groups I'm in. And whatever I hear from the people I talk to, I put it on there. And then, you know, all day it pops off with any type of news coming off on Twitter, and the football talk is really, really good. So, and there's some, more importantly, there's some really decent bloke in there, and that's the most important thing as well. So head over, and we're not just going to give you a WhatsApp for $4.99 a month, because you all tell us to do one after a month. But you know, well, I think I asked, Dean can bear witness to this. I asked these guys about 3-4 days ago, can I put something up? Did I say that, Gene?
Yes, you did. And I said no.
And you said no.
No,
I
said
got
no.
out-vetoed. I got vetoed and outnumbered. But I think I've told these guys that I'm going to release something. Just give people a little teaser, because it's been a month now, probably more, that I've been telling these guys, we're gonna give you exclusive content, and these guys probably going on there and jackholes coming through. But I'm gonna give you something, and then you'll realize why it's taking a bit of time. And I will promise I will do that. But the members are coming through thick and fast, and I think this will just become a show where I'll just say thank you to the members.
Load of them.
This is the member show. This is the member show. Who was next? Bilal. I think I'll just scroll up now. Where am I at?
You're on Christopher Olcott. You haven't given
Christopher Olcott. Thank you so much for becoming.
Nadush as well, you missed.
No, I said thank you to Nadush. Chris, thank you so much for becoming a member, mate. All of you guys that have just become a member, please message me on Twitter, and I'll come off the show and I'll send you the link to become a BNR Ultra in the WhatsApp. And for those guys who've been joining that WhatsApp group today, I put a message out a couple of days ago saying we're also working, which is Gene's, by the way, just to put it out there. We're also working on a little BNR Ultra gift set. So when you become a BNR, we'll get in touch with the newcomers and the existing BNR Ultras and take your address details and send out a little BNR Ultra, where it has a little BNR Ultra key ring and a few other things like a bottle and stuff like that. So that's in the pipeline. But more importantly, you'll be getting exclusive content, at least 2-3 shows per week. That's the objective. That is the wish. And we're coming thick and fast. And all the support and the love that we've received from you guys from day one, honestly, it really is genuinely overwhelming. Bilal Raza is the next YouTube member. Thank you so much, Bilal. Big up to you. The Cop Zone, head over. If that's a channel, a fan page, whatever it is, head over and give them a like and a subscribe or a follow on Twitter, wherever they are. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. And then Bizarre, it's not bizarre to become a member, I can tell you that for free. Thank you so much for becoming a member on BNR. And as admin, They always alive for about next half an hour. Then they go to bed. Many thanks for all the members for the support. We appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Any more people?
No,
I think members wise, that's it.
Am I getting
Remember that.
greedy now? Am I getting greedy?
Can I give a big up to Mr. Skandar Bot, please? Massive big up to
Oh, big up.
this guy. His dad is going to be a massive help to all the BNR members because he's going to be providing me with some stuff to BNR.
Why
I
haven't
mean,
you told me about this?
you don't need to know about this. This is my shit. You said Gene's sorting it out, so leave it
Yeah,
with
but
me.
you do know the design is my
It
thing.
goes to me. Gene's sorting it out. Leave it to me then. That's it.
But
Skandar
whenever
Bot,
you're designing something, you always send it to me.
yeah, dude. We're at early stages.
Are we at the talk stage? The Rodrygo stage?
We're at Rodrygo stage.
As Secondar and Shahid by giving you the nod?
They give me free transfer. That means it's free.
You walk into the factory and you do what you want, yeah?
Yeah.
Got another one, Asim.
Zishan,
do it.
Afzal, thank you so much for becoming a member. Zishan, just like the others, message me now actually, so I've got it in my DMs, and then I'll keep on sending the WhatsApp link. But the WhatsApp, please, it got leaked by our very own admin about 2 weeks ago, so I'm sure you guys will leak it out. Only we leak it out. But the good thing about on that WhatsApp group is because within 5 minutes we started getting around about 50, 60 requests, and I thought, oh my god, we've just screwed the whole thing up. But thank God WhatsApp allowed us to reset the link, and then it stopped. Okay, that was a long introduction that we weren't expecting to do, but I'll happily to do it to every show if this carries on. But honestly, joking aside, thank you so much for all the guys who've just become a member. Showtime. Aki, I don't know where we left the conversation with you. Obviously, you've been on buddy duties. She's been making look at your biceps, look a bit bigger today, carrying drawers and fridges and kitchen units. She'll have you cooking tomorrow, but it's okay as long as you call the lads around for a bit of roti.
Of course.
Tell me where we left. SKB saying, "Oh, the factory." Let me read that, man. The factory is open to the BNR family. Nothing but love from Shahid Bhai since day one. Alhamdulillah. I can't remember where we left the conversation with you. Where were we? Were we gonna bid for Ekatike? But obviously don't want to bore the people. There's nearly 800 people in the chat, by the way. Smash a like and all that. All those rules don't change, by the way. As soon as you come into the show, smash a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. But where are we? You probably saw the shows of the last 3-4 days. Ben Jacobs came on. What do you make of Liverpool's transfer policy as of now and the next 3-4 weeks?
Well, can't complain, can we? We wanted Isak, and obviously I was getting really greedy myself, and I thought we'll get him. But I still think there's hope there. But in regards to Ekatike, I think when we last spoke, I think the clubs were talking. I don't think Liverpool had put an official bid in. So obviously since then, now the players, I think he's had his medical today, didn't he? And obviously he's on the way to, I think he was on the way to London. And after that, I think he'll be flying out to Asia soon enough to join the rest of the team. But in regards to our business, Asim, I'm more than happy. And it just looks like it's going to get more wild. And we're going to sign a few more players. And I asked you a question earlier on today. Do you think we sign 3 more players? And obviously you answered saying you can see maybe 2 attackers and a defender. And if not, if Diaz stays, maybe 1 attacker and 2 defenders, as in 2 centre-backs coming in. One who's more established, one maybe project signing as well. So it's looking really good. And all I can say is that I've never seen a transfer window like this in my life. The closest one we got to this, I think, was when we bought Alisson, and I think we bought Virgil in January. And, we sorted out our spine. But now this is just pure bonkers. Every time you go on Twitter now, forget Twitter, Asim, actually. Every time you go on that BNR Ultra group, big shout out to all the lads on that group. They're like aggregators. I go there and I'm getting the latest news. And I'm like, wow, forget going on Twitter. We've got all the lads here giving us the up-to-date news. So, it's just interesting times. And I've seen more Rodrygo links pop up today. That's got me excited. Maybe Gene's not so excited. Probably want to see some Gordon links. But interesting times ahead. What do you make of it?
Interesting times ahead. Look, I want to stick with you. Diaz, surely it gets done.
Yeah, we've seen Pipe. Is it Pipe Sierra? I'm probably butchering his name. He's the one that broke the news in the first place when Diaz joined us.
I
So
think he's the unofficial agent of Diaz as well.
all right, it probably is. He's always not doing his prop, fair play to him. But he's obviously saying that Diaz wants to leave. And we're seeing obviously that they're going to put another bid in. And whether Liverpool accept that bid is another thing.
Do you think Diaz coming out via Pipa Sierra, do you think this is Bayern Munich's last bid?
Possibly, Asim. They've bid twice before, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the third. Most of the time, clubs do 3 bids, and third bid normally is the final bid. For me, if you ask me, I think Liverpool are going to hold out for around 70 mil. If they can give at least like 65 million and like maybe 5 million add-ons, I think Liverpool will accept that. And for me, that's a good deal as well. We picked him up for 40 million, and I think there was a potential few bit of add-ons as well. He's probably achieved that now because he's won a lot of trophies with us as well. I'd accept that, to be honest with you. He's 28, going to turn 29, and as much as I love him and I think he's an integral part of the squad, I'm happy to let Diaz go if that means Rodrygo comes in. I'll be honest with you, I'll be pretty happy to let Diaz go, even if probably Gordon comes in. And I'm not the biggest fan of Gordon. I just feel like the youth that we'll bring to that team as well. 24, he's got a potential high ceiling. I feel like Diaz, the best season he had last season, I can maybe see him do that one more time. I can't see him replicating them type of numbers continuously for us.
Gene, I'll ask you. I think I asked Avi the question last time. We'll go on Rodrygo later on, but just Aki's mentioned he doesn't want Anthony Gordon. Do you think Liverpool? I know the interest is being reported. It's there since we tried to do the deal. But did we only try to do the deal because of how good the deal was? We recognize it's an opportunistic signing. Kwanzaa probably was.
Gomez. I think it was Gomez.
Gomez was a question mark as well, but there was noise about Newcastle wanting Kwanzaa as well. But you're right, it was Gomez. Now that he signed a new contract, has he got the numbers? Has he got the pedigree on a consistent basis? Can Liverpool go by that sample size? Because if you go by that sample size, Sheen, he's only had one good season. And if it wasn't good enough for Diaz, I know you're going to tell me Diaz is 28 going on 29, but can Liverpool replace Diaz, the numbers last year, by someone who hasn't had a good season at least? And before that, yes, he performed, but there's a massive question mark when it comes to Anthony Gordon. You have to admit that.
Look, I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it that Anthony Gordon was my number one target before I knew those other players that we were really interested in. One of the reasons why it was because I thought he was gettable. He was a Liverpool fan. He wanted us. We wanted him. And sometimes you go for a player that you think, what, makes sense, that, there's a possibility of that deal getting done. Obviously, fast forward a year, we would have all jumped on Anthony Gordon a year ago because his numbers were unbelievable. Last season, though, his numbers were nowhere near. Albeit, I'm going to caveat that he missed out on his dream move. He wanted to move to Liverpool. He didn't get that move. And he probably did to an extent. We all know, and he was at the England camp, he was telling everybody, I'm moving to Liverpool. And because that was standard news that was out in the press. But obviously he didn't get that move. Wasn't the best of seasons. I know he was injured towards the back end of last season. And you could probably understand, and obviously he signed a contract which made it difficult now for Liverpool to get the to try and make that signing now. Look, do I like Anthony Gordon? Yes. Did I want Anthony Gordon? Yes. You talk about one season sample size. Most players, Asim, 23, 24. Can you really see that they've had 3 seasons of being unbelievable? Really? Ekitike, one real good season, Asim. We're paying 69 million plus 10 to 10. So there's always going to be a risk with whoever you sort of buy, but it's about being able to get the right player. And if Arne Slot on the board want that player, I'm all in. Look, Rodrygo, now when I saw his numbers from the left-hand side, at first when I looked at Rodrygo, I thought, what? I like him, but he wasn't unbelievable. And and the numbers that have been, you're talking 100 million euros is a starting price where you're going to in terms of negotiation. Of course, there's going to be a drop off in fee, but that's what Real Madrid are going to try to attain from any club wanting him. So when I looked at Gordon, I thought maybe, but when I looked at Rodrygo, 12 GAs in 12 starts from that
Yeah.
his favoured left hand side, it does give you that, you know what, this guy is the player. Highest played at the highest level, won trophies. In his favoured position, he looks like he's gonna bang. He needs a move where he's gonna play in that position, and hopefully it's a Liverpool. And I'm all in the Rodrygo train. However, if we don't get Rodrygo, and this was my thing, if we don't get Rodrygo for whatever reason, he wants to stay. It hasn't exactly come out that he's come out and said, I'm leaving the club. If that comes out that he wants to stay, then I would go for an Anthony Gordon. But right now, I think all in terms of the Liverpool fan base and all of us, we're on that Rodrygo train. We all
So if
want.
it isn't Rodrygo, you'd go back to Gordon and you won't look at any other left wingers.
Who you're gonna look at? Malik Fafana,
Liao?
Liao. I'm a big fan of.
Would
I'd take Liao over Gordon.
Yeah, look.
That was my next question.
Yes, look, you're always gonna have. Look, there's the Liaos, the Diaz, Gordon. Barcolo's slightly different because he would play. I don't think he's leaving. They're all in that same bracket, really. If you actually look at it, there's only Vina Farkane. There's maybe one's higher in certain aspect, one will be slightly lower in one aspect. Liao's number are amazing. Does he give you the work rate? There's always something that's missing. Nobody you can say, you know what, offers you everything. So, I get where there's people will say, I want Liao over Gordon. One person might say, I want Rodrygo over Liao, or Liao over this player, or Barcola over Liao. You're always going to get that. It's always down to personal preference and who you think will fit.
Yeah.
Look, Kenan Yildiz, and the load of people are coming up with Kenan Yildiz. I love Kenan Yildiz. I'm a huge, all my work's from Turkey, so I've always got a soft spot for Turkey. And I do follow him. He's an unbelievable player. I likened him to a prime Chiesa 4 or 5 years ago when Chiesa was unbelievable. He reminds me of that. And if we could get him, but there's no way Juve are selling him. He's going to sign a new contract. So, Uski Pulijo. That's not happening. Kvaratskhelia was the player. We all deep down know if there was one player we tried. PSG had him boxed off. He was the one player that you could say was a level above a Liao, Gordon, and all these players because you could tell he is the man. But now the rest of them, we just have to wait and see what happens. But Anthony Gordon, Rodrygo, I just want right now. I want us to go and get him, man. Just hopefully he gives the nod, and we go and get him.
Asim, sorry, just to butt in as well. For me,
no, feel free.
I was going to say in regards to Rodrygo I feel like it's a similar situation to Alexis Sanchez. So when he was at Barcelona, he was there, he was good, but he never got the limelight. The second he went to Arsenal, he exploded. And I feel like Rodrygo can do the same, and especially once Rodrygo's going to play in his favorite position.
Who's this? Ake?
Alexis Sanchez. When he was at Barcelona, he was part of the front three, but he wasn't he didn't get the plaudits he deserved. You know what I mean? Because I don't blame him in a way. You're playing with Messi, Villa, Pedro. You had all these super talents that were next to you. The second he went to Arsenal, he started putting up ridiculous numbers. And I can see Rodrygo maybe doing something like that. And like Gene was saying before, it's all a preference thing at the end of the day. I might not like Gordon as much as he does, but Liao, who I don't rate very highly, I prefer over Gordon just because I feel like Liao's got a bit more of an X factor to him. Do you know what I mean? It's all a preference thing at the end of the day. And if the data nerds want him, I trust the data nerds, even if that means that's a Gordon. But I'm hoping it's a Rodrygo, to be honest with you.
Why would you take Liao over Gordon?
As I feel like he can break down low blocks better than most because he can go on the outside, inside, and he's unpredictable. Some of his goals, the way he twists and turns players, it's not all in transition. He can do it in tight gaps for me. And the only thing I do find infuriating about him is sometimes his decision making and what Gene said in regards to his hard work. But he caveated that with the fact that sometimes these certain players who don't have this work ethic, once they join big clubs, they buckle up. They've got no option but to work. Do you know what I mean? So you never know. We'll never know.
No, you need to be a natural
athlete. You mean as in someone?
No, he's an athlete. He's most definitely an athlete, especially with the ball. But is he an athlete off the ball?
Yeah, but we thought about Gakpo, and Arnie Slot pulled it into him as well. He came back to Vina, worked harder. So you never know. And Liao's got way more talent than Gakpo, if you ask me.
Okay.
What's your preference? You've asked us.
Rodrygo.
Anjay.
Look, we're all on the Rodrygo train. I get that, but I think every Liverpool fan, 90% of them will tell you Rodrygo is the player. If it's not Rodrygo, then who? That's the question.
Anthony Gordon,
which is fair.
The only reason why I agree with Aki, I think Liao's got more natural talent, but it's just the way that I think we need that hard worker in there. And yeah, I think Aki was really correct in trying to justify Liao with how Gakpo increased his work rate. But I just keep looking at that right hand side and the way we try to cheat with Salah staying up high. Someone's got to do that. I can remember that game against Crystal Palace where we had Jarosson net and for about 10-15 minutes. And it wasn't just that game where Diaz was playing left back. We were defending in a 5. And, in this league, you have to suffer sometimes. It doesn't matter how good you are and how much, you won the league at a canter. But you have to go through and suffer games, especially when we don't have a natural destroyer. We struggled in some big physical games last year. Everton, Newcastle a few times, PSG away. And then go again. We controlled PSG a lot better in the second half in the away leg. Why? Because we just sat off them when we played at Diaz 10, 15 yards further deeper and we let them come on to us. And we caught them on the counter a few times. And before we got that goal, we could have sneaked in a few more times. Let's be honest. But we were lucky to win that game, especially when you consider on the basis of the first half. But I think Anthony Gordon gives us, and if we didn't invest in the number 10, I'd say go get a Liao. I'd sacrifice someone to stay there a bit higher up the pitch, let us feed him, and we can do it. But because we've got Wirtz, I think the appetite that Gordon has to run in behind defenses, I think especially if Wirtz is going to play that in that little left-hand side pocket, I think he's going to be unbelievable by Wirtz just feeding him through balls as well. And Liao will be unbelievable as well. But I think we need that work rate on the big day. If we don't have a natural destroyer, I think we have to make it up with physicality and speed off the ball. And you just saw it even at the Preston game, where the amount of times Frimpong and Kirkes were winning the ball back. And if they weren't winning the ball back, they were slowing down the attack. And that's what Anthony Gordon will give you with the likes of Szoboszlai, with the likes of Wirtz as well, and the Gordon and the Frimpongs and the Kirkes. They might not have a natural big frame, but boy, have they got physicality in a different way. So
yeah, no, that's fair.
Sometimes Asim is, it's not about the name of the players or the brand. In that essence, certain players, they just suit a system and they suit the team better. Whether it might be Gordon's not as flashy as a Rodrygo, but like you were saying, because you can get in behind and we've got Wirtz playing them balls, he might be more suited than a certain player like a Liao or a Rodrygo, or whether a Yildiz, or even someone mentioned before, Total Eclipse, I think mentioned about Mitoma. He's someone I would have, been happy to take if Mitoma was younger, but he's more closer to, touching 30. I think he's 27, 28. If Mitoma was 23, 24, the ability that kid has is unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, he's brilliant, man.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's certain players it's better to get someone who suits the system. Just like we used to have players like Hendo who suited the system, Wijnaldum and Fabinho. They weren't the flashiest of players, but they suited what we needed. And if that's a Gordon over a Rodrygo,
and Hamza, a big up to my cousin Hamza. Go on, Hamza. He changed his profile as well. Big up, because he says only time Gordon is acceptable if Isak comes with him. I think that's a great point, because I don't think we get both. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Newcastle need money, but they don't need that much money. So we'll stop Gordon. Just like Asim not actually says. There's over nearly 1,100 people in the chat, by the way. Smash a like. Keep on getting that like count up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let's go back to Isak then, because we'll be talking about Isak for the last 3 weeks, and we'll continue to talk about Isak for the next 3 weeks as well. Ake, the official line was that he's picked up an injury and that's the reason why he was training alone as well. Is this a Coutinho moment?
Yeah, I was just about to say, we've seen this before where, they pull out the drama.
Would you genuinely think that this injury isn't genuine?
I don't think it is, Asim. Especially the way the wording Eddie Howe's been using in regards to saying we're desperate to keep him, stuff like that. That's a player who's irking for a move. And I just know, I've seen it because we've seen it with Coutinho before. I just get that same deja vu feeling, but obviously this time it's for us, as in we're trying to get the player and not lose a player. So Yeah, I can definitely. And in regards to this, you said for another 3 weeks we'll be seeing this. I said this to you before. I think about a couple of weeks ago when I was on. This whole saga is going to go on for a while. So we need to buckle in and wait until we finally get James Pierce or Paul Joyce saying, right, it's not happening. So for now, we just need to hope and see if anything miraculous can happen for us. And I still think because nothing's been squashed yet, there's hope here. And especially now that we've seen that he had to train by himself because of his so-called injury, there's some hope there. But
Gene, the last time I mentioned about a couple of weeks ago, no, about a week ago after the tragic passing of Diego Jota, I didn't talk to a lot of people, especially the ones that are very close to the club. But in the last 2 days, I've started sending messages again. If I'm really honest, I'm having these sort of conversations. And the last time, the same people were very, very coy in their responses was when we were linked with Florian Wirtz. Is it deja vu, do you think?
Have I not been on the Isak train, Asim?
Yes, you have.
Thank you. I have been on the Isak train. I just think I always called it and I said this transfer is going to need Isak to kick up a fuss. And boy, has he started kicking up a fuss, especially over the last 4 to 5 days. The minute that interview came out with Eddie Howe regarding, we've given him time out, we've given this, that was like, okay, Isak, you've made your move. That's your first move. Then it went on to the next thing, right? They were always going to say, hey, no, we're not going to sell him, all that type of stuff. This is how a transfer of a player, when a club doesn't want to sell a player, but the player wants to move, there's a due process in terms of AOC. This is going to happen. The player's not going to want to play properly. He's going to say, my head's turned. Then comes the injury. We are at injury stage. Ladies and gentlemen, this is injury stage. And yes, he had an injury towards the back end of last season. I don't know 100% if it's his groin, if it's his thigh, what his injury was back then, and all this type of stuff.
Well, we do know something's wrong with his head because his head's gone.
Yeah, head's 100% gone. That I think Eddie Howe made it.
Do you class that as an injury?
Well, it seems like it right now. We just need a little bit, injury to be slightly more, he needs to make his, fake out his injury a bit more. Doesn't go on the plane Wednesday, Thursday. Game on. Then it's game on, boys. Look, Federico Chiesa 2 days ago, we were told, minor issue. Yeah, minor issue turned into a bid from Atalanta. Come on, Yara, we've been here before. We've seen this play out the way it wants to play out. Look, the only thing that gives Newcastle fans and the thing you hope is he was injured towards the back end of last season. They're saying it's to do with that injury. We're easing him in. Yar, we're not so kids. We've seen how this plays out. We just have to hope and pray that it gets to a stage where Alexander Isak is like, I want Liverpool and I want it this season. I don't want to wait. Where he's really kicking up a fuss. And to be honest, I'm quite impressed with the way he's kicked up a fuss so far. Because you can't expect him to come out blatantly and say, I want a transfer request, I want to go, all that. Yeah, it doesn't work like that.
What's the stage after then, Gene? Sorry to interrupt. What's the
and Newcastle? Then they're going to realize that the player wants out. So then Newcastle, this is what Newcastle have to do. They have to start letting these journalists know, hey, 300 grand a week came up as well today, by the way. All of a sudden, a contract of 300 grand a week. Or Newcastle, they can say, look, we don't know, is this gonna, if this is possible, we can't pay somebody, bloody, he's asking for stupid money. The blame's gonna go on Isak, or his demands are crazy. He wants double what he's on already. So, it's these type of things how it plays out. They're gonna make Isak look out like the bad man, and inshallah, God willing, that we will go in when the time is right. We will bid when the time is right. And we get the player. I'm confident we will still get the player.
I want to ask you a question, Gene. If you're a Newcastle fan, and big up to Gaz, he's always in the building. If you're Newcastle as a club, what do you think their perspective is? One is just simple. You're not going nowhere. We don't give a shit what you do. We've got you where we want you. You've got 3 years. Do what you want. You're not going. We've got the call.
They're not Liverpool.
We've got the call from Saudi, and this is probably the reason why he's trying the things step by step. But do you really think that moment's gonna come? Because they're losing out on targets. They lost out on Ekitike. They've lost out on Ambuemo. They've lost out on James Trafford. When will reality hit them, Sheen?
Anytime soon. Asim, it's already hit him hard. Reality has sunk in. They've realized we're missing out on every target. They don't
Why
have a
haven't they come to the table then?
They will come to the table. They don't. End of the day, they don't want to sell him. They don't want to sell him. They've lost out on Ekitike. They're losing out on players.
Right. Now they started this stance, a very, very bullish approach. You're not going nowhere. Do you think they'll carry it through now? Because if they do,
5 weeks
you
is
have
a
to respect
long
it.
time, bro. And you know the biggest issue that they've got. You know, if it was a week or two, you know, you can play the game. 5-6 weeks is a long time in this game, Asim. Especially in the transfer saga, it's a long time, and for you to, you know, unless you tie the player down to a contract, very difficult for the opposition team to keep it. And look, we've been here, so we know what it feels like to lose your best player. And it's a fucking down. It's a big downer, man. We've lost it we saw it with Coutinho. We saw it with Suarez. Even players like Alonso. I remember Mascherano leaving. I was heartbroken because I loved Mascherano. You know, players like that really, really hurt. So I get it from their perspective, but you have to understand when one of the biggest clubs in the world comes in, and we were nowhere near at that time when the clubs like Barcelona or Lionel Messi were coming in for Mascherano, Real Madrid were coming for Alonso, you know, Messi's team was coming in for Suarez. We couldn't do it. We tried, you know, Chemine, you know, we got, was it 6 months out of Coutinho? You know, we got 6 months out of him, 4 months, September to December, yeah. 4 months we got out of him. Suarez, Murray, you know, that was a year, but that's because he wasn't hell bent on leaving. You know, Gerrard sort of persuaded him. Alonso went straight away. So it's very difficult to keep a player, Asim. Very difficult when his heart's set on moving, especially if it's 120 to 130 million pound play offer that you're gonna get. Very difficult to say no. Very hard, man. I'll be
Aki is someone like Visser. Is he good enough to replace Isak?
No, of course not. And I don't think Wissa is the Isak replacement. I think Wissa is just someone they're bringing up to bolster their attacking options because he's only 25, 30 million. Well, the bid 25 million has been rejected and Brentford are wanting 50. But I think they'll meet 30, 35 somewhere. And in regards to what Gene was saying about Isak, as in we've been there before with other clubs taking our players like that. We've also been there and took players like Van Dijk where we had this whole saga and we waited. And I think we'll do the same. We'll wait like a good wife waits for her husband who's in prison. We'll wait and we'll get that player. I'm telling you, if it's not now, we'll get him next summer because I think the club believes he's worth waiting for. Do you know what I mean? The type of talent he is. So even if we don't get him this summer, I think we get him next summer. Maybe not in January because Newcastle are not Southampton and they'll be fighting for whether it be a domestic or they'll be in the Champions League maybe still. So they'll want to hold on to their best player. But maybe next summer when he hasn't signed his contract and they know the fee's going down and he's got 2 years left on his... Will he have 2 years left on his deal next year? 1 year?
Two.
Yeah. I think they'll accept around 90 to 100 million. Then they'll have to. And maybe we might have other suitors coming in to try and buy Isak. But I reckon because we've waited all that time for him and he's spoken to us, he'll give his loyalty to us and we'll bring him then, if not this summer. So don't worry, guys. If it's not
so
now,
you think it's just like a Van Dijk case?
I feel like it is. It feels a bit like a Van Dijk case as well, apart from the tapping up that happened with the Van Dijk and Blackpool when him and Klopp were caught on the Pepsi Max. But you know what I mean?
It's certainly been a roller coaster, okay.
Yeah, definitely has. And I said to you before, it's going to be that type of ride. You're going to have to just, strap in and hold on tight because it's going to be a wild ride.
It's going to be a wild ride. Let's go to Shannon. Thank you so much, Shannon. I think Shannon engages a lot with BNR and myself on X as well. So thank you so much, Shannon, for always showing the support and love to the channel and the rest of the guys as well. Adam asked a question earlier. No, I don't have a clue what this black van was about. Then I got told that Sky Sports deleted the tweet as well. So I'm sorry. I was at work and I didn't really pay attention to it. Rehan, always supporting. Big up, brother. If the saga goes on and he still wants us, do you think he plays Newcastle-Liverpool game in August? Great question. I'm starting to get a bit optimistic.
Oh, yeah, bro. If Rehan's optimistic, bro, it feels happening.
Especially if you see his messages in the group.
The guy I have ever met in my entire life. I thought, what? Rehan, you've got the #1 tag right now, mate. I'm telling you.
I'm surprised he hasn't pulled his hair out. He was going
Is
absolutely.
Rehan the new waxer?
He's the new Waxy. You know, he's worse. He's worse. Big up, man. Big up. Now, big up Rihanna's. You know what? I have to give after saying all that, I have to big him up. He is a massive, massive supporter of the channel. So I have to, give him a proper big up, man. So big up Rayan, bro.
Go big him up, but answer his question as well, isn't it? For God's sake.
Or whether he plays or not, Asim.
Yeah.
All right.
I believe he'll be a Liverpool player before that game. Oh, he plays that game. He scores in front of the Gallagher for Liverpool.
Oi.
Imagine that. Toba. You imagine him scoring for Liverpool.
The George used to run on the pitch.
Mental.
I was just about to say if Isak scores in front of their fans in that fixture in a red shirt, we'd be on cloud 9. But we're already on cloud 9 and bloody in that way.
I know, he's up in the heavens, man.
What do you think? Does he play, Ake?
I don't think he plays. If the drama's still going on, I don't think he plays.
Of course he plays, Yara.
What's the date?
The drama's going on. Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
What's the date?
Obviously, he's not going to be playing.
It's the second game of the season, so it's 22nd, I think.
22nd. So about 8 days before the window ends, yeah?
Yeah, if it's still going on.
Bro, it's a Monday night fixture as well.
Monday night, bloody hell.
It's a Monday night game, man.
Do you think he plays Ake?
No, I don't think he does. I think it'll still
25th.
Unless we get a proper no. We get like a full-on no from the journalist that it's off, then he'll play. Then he'll definitely play.
If Liverpool are still there, knocking on the door,
I don't think he'll play then.
I don't think he plays.
No, he won't.
They'll have to play Wissa up top.
They linked to Sesko. I think they were linked to Sesko today. I saw some reports.
But Gene, if they're going to go and invest in the team, Sesko, Wissa, and a few other players, they need to do the sale now.
Yeah, and if they, and if them two players, they're not going to exactly be on 60, 70 grand a week. But then you're going to have to pull out door, mate.
Exactly. I think privately they're probably regretting the fact that Liverpool
made it.
Okay, I think they're regretting that.
They probably are. I believe that.
United are interested in Shesko as well, Asim.
United have been interested in everything. They're trying to hijack a deal. Like, Gyökeres, Ekitike, Delap. They're trying to find a striker.
It's good, it serves them right. When we were kids, they were doing that to us, taking all our best players. They signed Vidic, we were linked to Vidic as well, I'm sure. They signed quite a few players that we were interested in. So I'm glad to see them being sidelined. It's good times.
I wanna ask you a question. Ben Jacobs mentioned that Liverpool will not make a blind bid. That if they see this situation not changing, that they're not just going to make a bid. They will only make a bid if they think that Newcastle will talk. Do you think that time is coming close, or do you think this is just going to come to a head in the last week of the window?
I still think the same what I said before. It's going to drag out. We're going to see different types of stories taking path in the next few weeks, and we're all going to be thinking, oh, it's happening now. It's going to happen in the next 48 hours, like we thought the other week. Oh, it's going to happen quick. And then it's going to be the same where it gets dragged out, calmed down again. You got to remember.
But how does that benefit Newcastle?
It doesn't, but they might potentially already have, like, if they're going linked to Šeško, they might already have their replacement signed, whether they sign him now for next year in advance, knowing Isak leaves then, knowing fullback is not going to sign a contract, or they just want to buy that player early, knowing that if other teams know they've got 120 million plus to play with because of Isak, they're going to bump up their prices for their players as well. So it could just be a matter of fact that they get the replacement in early first, and then they say, you know what, okay, guys, let's talk. You know what I mean? We're not going to put a bid in until they give us that inkling that we're allowed to put that bid in.
Zaid says, Newcastle can't afford to drag it out, but they're dragging it out.
Really, be interesting. Like, look, for me, I get where Aki's coming from in regards to dragging out Isak as long as they can, and I get why they probably want to do that. They probably want to bring their targets in, which is fair. I think there will be an agreement if they've given in to Alexander Isak leaving and coming to Liverpool. I think Richard Hughes and Eddie Howe will have agreed because they're friends, they know each other. It will get to the point where they say to us, "Okay, TK, the player's yours, but let us do business."
agree.
Because of the relationship and thingy, we will say, "Okay, TK, fine." But I don't think it will be dragged out to the last 3 or 4 days of the transfer window. Pulija, I'd be shell shocked if that. That's true. They will want this wrapped up before the season starts.
If
If
it
you
gets
ask me,
right to the end as well, Asim,
Yeah.
that fee that we're talking about, 120, 130 or whatever, it'll go way higher. They'll start saying, right, okay, we have all the power now. You want him way more.
if you ask me on a personal opinion, Asim, I think we make a move for Isak in the next 3 days, 3 or 4 days. I think we maybe make a move.
Is that a Keen
No,
bomber?
personal opinion, yeah.
On his device.
Clip him, clip him.
Yeah, I think in the next 3 or 4 days, I think we maybe
Listen, I didn't hear that. Can you just say that again, please?
I believe my own brain, my own head, that Liverpool will make a move for Isak in the next 3 or 4 days. It doesn't make sense if the guy is in training and dua karo or kal play na padama baithe aave. That would be like, if he's not on the plane, boys, chaliyan mein, proper chaliyan.
No. If he's not on the plane, you'd rather just give him a red shirt. I'll drive up to Newcastle myself. Just give him a number 9 shirt.
It's a lovely drive to there as well, Asim. Nice, easy roads, A roads.
It's really nice, really nice. Okay, I'm going to put you on the spot, both of you. Give me your predicted front 6 at the end of the transfer window for Liverpool. And chat, get involved as well. I'll give you 2 minutes. I'm just gonna shout out Faizan. Faizan Zafar, thank you so much for becoming a member. Get in touch with me on Twitter, and I'll start sending you the WhatsApp link as well. I think some of you have already started doing. I've seen who did I see? Bilal Raza has just been added to the group. So yeah, if you want to do it straight away, then message the BNR X page, and then Waxy will send you the link. There we are. Aggregators are in the building as well. They are actually. At least you got a green.
Andy! Well, Asim's red way, he gets it wrong, man. Asim na koi nahi. I'm his ITK.
Look, you have to work for that green. You guys are too easy, man. You've just given Gene just like this.
I don't. Asim, because they know it. I don't.
Just special,
At least start off with the amber, isn't it? For God's sake.
No.
Fabrizio Cinamo.
That's when these guys are funny, man.
Okay, tell me. Front
all right,
6.
can I go?
Yeah.
Wow, go on.
All right, I'll go Salah, Gakpo, Ekatike.
Slow down. Okay.
Salah, Gakpo, Ekatike, Rodrygo, Fofana.
Ooh.
As in, because Chiesa will be gone. I said to you, like, Chiesa will leave as well.
Yeah.
And you know what? Come on, we have to be optimistic here, Isak.
He cannot.
So we're buying 3 attackers.
It's not the mark.
We're selling them all and buying them all. Full reset, as Avi said. So on a realistic level, no Isak. It'll be a Wirtz. If we bring Rodrygo and to bring Isak in as well, that'll be madness. I think Wirtz will obviously do a bit of work there as well.
So that's our 5 attackers.
Yeah.
So okay, Gene.
Obviously, the first 3 are standard: Gakpo, Salah, and Ekatike. I think we get Isak and we get Rodrygo, and Wirtz is the 6th attacker. Or obviously Jadon Dans if you want.
No. Start again. Sorry, I was just tweeting.
I've gone with 5. The 2 new ones are going to be Rodrygo and Isak, with Wirtz as the 6th attacker. Oh, Yara, do I have to write it down for you? Thinking.
No, I'm just thinking. Is that exactly the same as Ake?
No. He didn't have Isak. I've gone Isak and Rodrygo.
Fofana, I'm sure.
So you just bought Rodrygo and Fofana?
Yeah, Fofana as well, because Chiesa and Nunez have gone, as well as Diaz. All 3 of them have gone. And then
so I've gone Rodrygo and Isak, but playing with 5 and versus the 6th. Or Frimpong 6.
I've got Frimpong as well, like they say in the comments as well.
Yeah, Frimpong as well. Yeah. I agree with Gene.
Anji, see, I told you.
Oh, wow.
I agree with Gene. I agree with Gene. Just remember, Gene said it first. So if it's wrong, throw your stones in his
if I'm
direction.
right, if I'm right on Twitter, go give him shit.
Yeah. No, why didn't give me shit? I just agreed with you for God's sake. Just your green
Just give him
stays.
shit.
You're only as good as your last thinger.
That's true.
You're only as good as your last thingy.
Fair play, I'll give you that.
Rodrygo and Isak, no chance.
Look,
No
I
chance.
get all that.
And I
I
got
get
asked
all
this
that.
question: do you think we've got the money, Gene? And do you think Liverpool are going to end up spending that sort of money in one window? Even though there's a lot of outgoings in the next 3-4 weeks that we're going to see. But and I simply answered. I said, look, Nunez was always expected to leave. The tragic passing of Diogo Jota meant that Liverpool had an increased need down the middle. Ekitike for me was gonna come in, but because there was an extra space there to cover, we needed. And whenever Alexander Isak is available in the market, it doesn't matter who you've got at the club, you'll always be interested. And I think we've got this feeling that with the Liverpool of 4 or 5 years ago, where we just go and try for a big transfer. Not even 4 or 5 years ago, a couple of years ago. Caicedo. I don't need to talk about him, where we went and we got out-muscled financially and in terms of our due diligence and relationships with the player. But these guys know what they're doing. They start 6 to 8 months early and they start monitoring players 2-3 years before, and sometimes even longer than that. So everything goes in the right direction. But most importantly, to sum up everything, Alexander Isak is a unique and separate case. And the fact that we've got the money it always helps. But a lot of fans, and understandably so, Gene, are saying, look, we've got Ekitike. He is the Alexander Isak profile. But I think he's such a talent that you have to be interested. And I think Liverpool know that they're in the strongest position this year because Arsenal have bought their striker, Chelsea have bought their strikers, Barcelona can't afford him, United can't afford him, Haaland's at City. So there's a front runner, Gene, and you have to take advantage of it.
Not just Asim. Liverpool are the champions.
100%.
We are the champions. If this is the time to go and show your muscle, and like you mentioned, if a player like Alexander Isak is available, Liverpool, you've got the money, you've got the players buy-in, you're the champions. This is the summer you have to make moves, and even if it means next summer's budget, okay, we're not guaranteed what we're gonna make, but let's face it, we're definitely gonna make Champions League, right, as a bare minimum. So we have to be able to understand, okay, Adidas money, that money is practically guaranteed. Where do we go from here? We're using next year's budget to make sure we're in the strongest position to go and make play for the next 3 or 4 years. That don't be surprised that next year we don't sign anybody. We might bring in one because we've done the buying this summer for the next 4 years. And you do that when you're at your strongest, and you do that when you're at your best. And that's what Liverpool are doing. They're trying to make the play. Other sides can't do it. We can do it. And when you've got a player's buy-in, who's the best striker in the world, and it feels like that we've got his buy-in. Right now, it feels like we've got it. He's kicked up a bit of a fuss, so you have to go in hard. And that's what we're doing. We're going in hard. We've got money coming in from sales, and it all makes perfect sense. So that's why I think, we will make a play for him, all these players this summer, and we'll make it one time, go for it. Dral, yeah, and take it from there.
Dral. Aki, so after listening to that, why can't Liverpool do Isak and Rodrygo this summer?
I didn't say they couldn't. I just tried to be a bit
different,
try to be a bit realistic. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Like I said, we've got money to play with. You know what I mean? There's been so many windows where we've hardly done anything, and PSI isn't stopping us from what I've seen. So we could possibly, because of unfortunate circumstances in Jota as well, we have to push forward the fact that we need another forward. So we might have to do it like Gene's saying. Maybe you have to bring in a Rodrygo and Isak now, and then next summer you just maybe what's it called? Concentrate on bringing in someone to give a competition to Gravenberch, or you bring in a midfielder to take us to another level, whether it be a Baleba or a Wharton. Do you know what I mean? And I'm sure we can do that next summer if it costs us 80, 90 million, maybe potentially 100. And then just one signing next summer ties us over, because the rest of the squad is looking very good for the future as well as the present.
Let's go to a few super chats. Naresh Patel, thank you so much for sending this through, brother. Agree with Sheen, bid coming in the next 3-4 days, as long as Isak doesn't travel to Asia. Rodrygo coming in also. Wow, confidence. Rakeen Dharma, thank you so much for sending this through. Who would be your 5+ game changers off the bench? We've seen how important that can be. Who brings something different? Okay, I think one of Bradley or Frimpong, I think, is a game changer in terms of how important that right back role is. It depends who your striker is. If you've got Isak up top and Wirtz in the 10, I can't see where Szoboszlai is. I think Szoboszlai is a game changer and someone the manager really trusts.
Ekitike.
Ekitike will be on the bench. That's 3.
Gakpo.
Gakpo's off on the wow, what a bench. What a bench.
Building the Galacticos here.
And then who else is there? Any other attackers?
Potentially use Frimpong as an attacker.
Yeah,
he's
part of
Ekitike, innit?
Yeah.
And then Frimpong, Gakpo, Ekitike.
We need a defender on the bench. I'll put Gay on the bench if we need to protect the game.
Yeah, go Endo as well, you know. Bring Endo in. We've got 1 goal lead.
Endo comes for a 5-10 minute cameo right at the end. 5 subs. It's 5 subs. I think I mentioned 6, but it's okay. We'll sneak Endo on the pitch. Selection with the super chat. Thank you so much for sending this through, bro. Wages, agent fees, and upfront cost. Considering the amount we paid immediately already and total transfer cost makes it unlikely, in my opinion. Isak 120, approximately 25 million upfront wasn't enough. Rodrygo will be minimum of 18 million pounds. Yeah, fair point. But I think Liverpool have got a lot of sellable assets selection. A lot of sellable assets.
That's the key, Asim. You know, you mentioned sellable assets. That's the massive difference this summer is we have a lot of players where we can recuperate a lot of money for. I think it's important over the next 3-4 days that, number one, a bid comes in from Bayern Munich for Luis Diaz, right? When that bid comes in and if it gets accepted, then we know the next deal is close. Whether it's Rodrygo, whether it's Isak, whether it's another player, because Liverpool are not going to let Luis Diaz leave and bring in a Malik Fofana and lose out on Alexander Isak. I don't accept that. If you want my honest opinion, guys, Liverpool are not going to bring in a Malik Fofana if we're losing out on Isak and Rodrygo. We're not going to let Diaz leave. So I believe once Diaz goes, one of them 2 players is nailed on, right? So then you've got Darwin to go, you've got Elliott to go, Morton to go, Tsimikas to go, Doak potentially to go, because I saw a report regarding Doak that Arne Slot wants to give him this preseason to prove how good he is. And when you put all that together, there's over nearly 200 million pounds.
There's Tyler Morton as well.
200 million pounds and decent wages that are going to be off your books as well. 5 players potentially. Wages regarding Nunez isn't exactly, I think he's on 100 plus. So there's decent wages that are going to be coming off your books. And then I believe it's still doable because you're only spending money on 2 players.
That's a valid question. Sleepy Forest asks when will Liverpool actually sell these players? Because at the moment, Liverpool, whoever it is, Gene, and look, they're very good sellers and they're playing the game right as well. They've put really good transfer values on them, but they haven't sold anyone of note. You know, Nunez is still here, Elliott is still here, Chiesa is still here, Diaz is still here.
Yeah, they're coming now, aren't they? £12 million bid, Atlanta, 140, I think it's 100, is it 130 or 140 grand a week, Chiesa? Correct me if I'm wrong. Imagine that off your books. That's half of nearly 300 grand a week, which you're going to give to Alexander Isak, yeah, on Federico Chiesa. Then you've got Luis Diaz, who's practically, we know the bid's coming in the next day or 2 from what we've been told. That's a lot of money, man. So Chiesa, somebody said 180. I don't think it's 180.
I think he might be 150.
You were right, Gene. You were right with what you said.
Yeah, around 150. Yeah, I think, with Itane you see, yeah. So around that, that's a lot of money. That's dead money, which is going to go towards Alexander Isak or whoever, or Rodrygo. So I think the money's there. But I think the moves now till the end of the week are important. That's why I believe Luis Diaz will go. I think we will accept the Chiesa bid for 12, maybe try to get a couple of more million. Once they're gone, then we make the move. Then it's like, okay, we will. That's why I think over the next 3 or 4 days, with that money, it's not Rodrygo. I think we make a play for Alexander Isak first.
Okay.
Then it's Rodrygo.
We've got an official mod.
क्या कर सकते हैं?
Whoa, mod ho gaya.
He's been working behind the scenes.
What doesn't this guy do,
I
Asim?
told him you are not allowed to ban people unless they come out with something stupid. So we've
He'll
got.
probably be the one coming out with something stupid, Asim. Can't ban himself, can I?
I know that's a good point. Well, we like doing stupid things, so it fits in well. Gene, so I wanna get into your mind what you're thinking. Diaz sorted by end of the week.
Yes.
Ekitike playing by the weekend.
He's
In the
obviously
squad.
in the squad. I think we've been told a day or two later he's in Japan. So
Okay.
uski jaan de hota hai, yeah, he's done.
Tika. Rodrygo approach by Monday to midweek next week.
Yes.
Mark Gahey the week after.
And I think you'll have to give it a bit that
Approach.
approach. Yeah, 100. I think we've already made approach, Asim.
You already made a pro, haven't you, Asim?
Approach is done.
But I
Now
know,
it's
but we walked away because I think they know they want too much money and they'll suffer their
meaning
stance.
go,
Nunez.
rekindle the interest in terms of fee.
Correct.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I think we've got the word. And then in the last 2 weeks, do you think it'll come to a head with the whole Isak drama?
I think we in the next 3 or 4 days we make a real push, and inshallah I think we will hear, because in the next 3 or 4 days, if Isak carries the way he's carrying out, then we make a move. We have to make a move because they're gonna need to buy as well, but we will have to make a move.
Or
And
Aki, do you think because Isak is such a big deal, is such a big priority,
Yeah.
they are not going to go for someone
Rodrygo.
like Rodrygo unless they've got their word or like clarification or such a like an official answer that, you know what, guys, just back off, and then you have to bring Rodrygo. If it's Isak, we get the answer. It could mean Rodrygo doesn't come in as well, Aki, just because of the finances. And I'm trying to be and play devil's advocate. So if Rodrygo is off the table, Diaz goes, we bring Isak in, and then we go bring someone in like a Malik Fofana. Is that possible?
It is possible, but I don't know why. But I think we'll get Rodrygo. If Diaz goes, I think we get Rodrygo. He's got no other suitors coming in for him. I think we're willing to pay around £80 million for him. And the only thing I don't know, but if we've approached him, we must know that we're happy to pay his wages, because otherwise we wouldn't go ahead with that approach if we're not happy with them wages. Because I've heard he's on quite a bit of dough. Someone saying he's on like 300k a week, but I don't know how true that is. But if we've approached him, surely we're happy to pay the wages, and I think we're more than happy to pay the fee, especially if we recoup around 65 to 70 million for Diaz. What's 80 million for Rodrygo? I think we'd pull him in.
I think people, there's a calls. He goes, Rodrygo will be loan with option to buy. If it's a loan, it will be an obligation to buy, not an option to buy. No chance.
Real Madrid that get loaned out.
No,
I can't see Rodrygo being a loan.
Yeah, no chance. I don't see it.
Asim, but if it's an obligation to buy, it's different.
But Gene, why would they sell him?
Liverpool might play the game.
What game?
Say to them, we will give you 90 million euros for this player.
Yeah.
But the 90 million obligation is next summer.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So you just want to keep your powder dry for Isak.
Yes. I can't look if they want to play that game, it won't be an option to. They could probably get that money, but if we're gonna go and pay them, because in the past, Asim, we've paid more because of we've paid more money just to make sure that we in terms of we get the terms.
Helps with PSR as well.
I think we find a loophole if we need the money.
As a favor for Kanate. We laugh about it, but we could be there, mate. We could be there.
No comment.
Let's go through the super chat. Zain, thank you so much for sending this through, brother. no way with Hughes and Edwards' competence that they would let someone of Diaz's quality go and not have the belief of Rodrygo is coming. Fofana is too much of a risk in being the Diaz replacement. 100%. I tweeted
Yeah.
something very similar to this, that I don't believe Liverpool are entertaining Luis Diaz leaving with the notion of like who's going to be our replacement. That's not the way we work as a club. But I think the options are open, Zayn, at the moment, is because Alexander Isak is seen as a priority. So there's a lot of moving parts. And we'll soon find out. As Aki said, it's going to be one big roller coaster for the next 2-3 weeks. Shimon Mia has just become a BNR Ultra. Thank you so much, Shimon. Get in touch with me, and I'll send you the WhatsApp link as well. That's
Selection.
Selection.
Sorry.
Selection's got super chat again.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see it. Thank you so much, Selection. Second super chat of the night. I think Rodrygo is the Isak alternative. So Rodrygo is an Isak alternative at left wing. I think he can be the type of false nine. Both are being worked on simultaneously, in my opinion. Just can't see us increasing our wage bill that much signing
Fair.
both. I think that's a great point.
Fair.
Because he's saying if it's not a conventional out-and-out number 9, even though Isak can do bits just like Ekatike can, Rodrygo can be our Dembele.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rodrygo can play across the whole front line. When
Yeah.
Salah goes to AFCON, Rodrygo can play on the right if need be.
Yeah, no, they're fair comments, to be fair to him. Selection is quite clever, you aren't you?
Navi's boy, innit?
He's Avi's boy, man. Big up to him.
There is a question from Phil. Thank you so much. Loving the channel, guys. Question: Nunez, how much does he go for, and who might he go to? It's a good question because the Napoli links have just
Napoli, I think, gone now.
Yeah, they bought Luca.
I saw that as well. Seems to have gone quiet regards clubs in for him. Do you think Nunez will just end up at Saudi? Because he's always got the offer there. He's trying to stay in Europe, trying to give as much as time as possible, but it might end up him getting a flight
Didn't
to
you
Saudi.
see some Juve links for him a day or two ago?
Yes.
That's what I was going to bring up. Juve links to. I saw some reports coming out about Juve that they want to be informed on Darwin. Look, that's another big club. If Darwin was to get that club, it'll be a good club for him, and he'd go there. But of course, from a Liverpool perspective, we will want him to go to Saudi because we will get an extra 10-15 million. But I think if the offer comes in, if I'm honest with you, from a Liverpool perspective, Asim, should we be happy that the offer hasn't come in yet? Because we will get more money from the Saudis.
What if he doesn't want to go to Saudi though, Gene? What if he turns around and says, I don't want to go?
Choice. If there's no club in Europe wanting you, you're not and you know it's not World Cup year, you're not playing anywhere. They're offering you 350, 400 grand a week. You're not gonna sit here.
What if he wants to play in a competitive league, stay in Europe? And what if, say, for example, Juve come in and say we want a loan with the obligation to buy?
Tell him that's fine. I'm good with that.
You happy with that? I'd be happy.
As long as there's an obligation. Obligation, no option to buy. Like United with a few of their players, we don't do option to buy, especially for our big players. We're not letting somebody go out on loan and miss out on a chunk of transfer fee. No chance, because the money is going to be there from Saudi. We'll say to the player, Nasitu, you ain't going to on
Saudi will give about 70, 80 million for him, you know.
I think 65, 70. If it's Saudi, I think we get max 70 million, max.
How much did it offer in January? Was it about 70 then as well?
70 then, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think it'll be that sort of fee that we'll be looking for Darwin.
Take it. Give it to him. Get Asim to drive him
there. Quick question. There was a similar question, but I think the selection answered it for us. Josh, quick question before you end, Asim. If you don't get Isak, do you think Ekatike will be a starter? In the number 9, yes. I think if you're spending 80, 90 million pound on him and Isak hasn't come, I think that will be the option. Although I do agree with Josh. If you want a guy who can run the channels a bit more, need a bit more of a physical frame up there, we'll go with Hugo Ekatike. If we want to drag out defenders a bit more on the halfway line, maybe on the big day, it also depends on a lot on Ekatike. If he hits the ground running, he will keep that position. But I think just like Arne Slot used the 4-2-4 or an extra 10, extra midfielder and play 4 midfielders on the big day, especially away from home, don't be surprised. But one thing that goes for Ekitike, he can be a conventional number 9 and run the channels and hold the ball up and bring other people into play. But he also can show it to feet and connect play. And if he's not connecting play, he can combat. He can progress the ball through his carrying ability and in his deliberate dribbling. And as we saw, I'm not comparing him to bloody Thierry Henry. How many times do you see Thierry Henry could come to the left because he could carry the ball as well? Obviously, he's not Thierry Henry, but it's that sort of profile where he's comfortable in doing it and he can, box crash from those positions. So I think that there's a lot of going for in Ekitike in terms of his underlying metrics. He can play the connecting role and combine with his midfielders, and he can play that word again for Chin. He can play in transition because he's got.
Oh no, he's gonna tonk you now.
He's gonna donk me. Zain with another super chat. Thank you so much, Zain, for sending this through again. My mate's cousin has a friend that I knew. Oh, is it one of those like January? My mate he works here, and he's just caught someone on the train, and he's related to my auntie and his auntie as well.
Sounds
Zayn,
like
you guy,
Liverpool are
why you
interested.
putting Zayn off for, man? People need to read his super chat.
We're reminding me of that sort of message.
it reminded me of Jay from In Between Us. No offense, Zayn, what a
Honestly,
mess.
it reminded me of like a January transfer deadline type of message. My mate's cousin has a friend. That friend has a mate who is
You know, don't blame you now.
with Frimpong, and he was telling me Diaz and Nunez are gone. Make of that what you will. Guess we'll see if it's true. I think it's true, Zen. I think
it's true too. There's another super chat.
Super chat. Right,
Oh, you didn't say anything.
He didn't put a message down.
Abidikani Yusuf. If you just put a normal chat, normal comment up, and I'll bring it up. I think there was another member. No,
that's it.
I think you might have been right. Asim, did you give Shannon?
No,
I have no.
We've done Shannon.
Oh, we did see him, yeah.
No, there was someone else. After
Why have you got rid of him then? Can I just address this, Gina? You stop your agenda. Stop your agenda against Nunez. Gina, I don't have an agenda against him. Just because if anything, this season that's just gone at the start, even though I was against him for 2 years and I didn't think he was good enough, I was willing to back him, give him the support, but he just wasn't good enough. And then this summer, I want him gone. I want him gone. I want him sold. I want to bring in another striker because he's had enough time. He hasn't really done it. Even though the fans loved him, we supported him more than any other player that I can think of. I don't think there's a player that Liverpool fans have supported and wanted to do well more than Darwin Nunez. But it just didn't work out. And sometimes you just have to cut your losses and say, okay, move on and go and bring in the quality. And that's where we're at.
Okay. I don't think I missed.
No, you gave Shimon me a shout out. So
yeah, I did. Sully says, how dare you mention Henry?
Taki.
He's an Arsenal fan. He's an Arsenal fan.
Sule, you signed a quota in Bucharest. You don't come to us.
That's all their fan base is doing.
Yes, man.
We're learning to keep the mouth
I see you at Anfield end of August, mate. Don't worry, we're going to drill you, mate.
Okay, let's call it a wrap. I think been going for 1 hour 20 minutes. Hassan's 100% right. Hit the likes, people. Subscribe to the channel. I'm always checking the percentage of our viewers that are not subscribed, and it was 46. It's gone down to 45.2 now. So we're going in the right direction. But we've only eaten about 0.8% of it. Honestly, 46%, I think it was at. No, was it?
Yeah, 409 likes, man. Come on, guys. There's still over nearly 1,000 people in here. And when we're only on 412, at least get it to 5.
Get us up to 500.
It doesn't take much effort to scroll up on your phone, or whether it's your tablet, or use your remote to click. Like, come on, guys. I don't normally say this type of stuff, but come on, you're just being lazy. Come on, smash the like, spank it, whatever.
Yeah, and do something else to it as well. Zach is asking Asim Ekitike announcement. I don't know, Zach. I literally don't know. Fabrizio came. What did he say, that the first part of the medical was done tonight? So Malcolm is asking, any bombers tonight? No, unfortunately, but I will try to get onto the information trail now, as everyone's active, everyone's back from holiday. So a few of them are in Hong Kong as well, enjoying some content as well. So anyway, thank you so much, people.
Before we go, we always we have to do a question.
Good question, that.
No, I liked it. I have to go with it.
Oh, wow.
This is our last question before we go.
Alessandro.
I'm a bit younger than you lot, so mine's gonna be a different answer, I reckon.
Alessandro Del Piero or Francesco Totti. I will go. Oh, Del Piero, man. What a player.
He loved a goal against Madrid as well, didn't he?
What a player. But you know what? Just because he is Salah's best friend, I'm going for Totti.
Because of his loyalty, I'd go for Totti as well. And you know what? His ability.
Who's the better player?
Del Piero fucking didn't he show you loyalty?
Yeah, he did. He did. To be
He's
fair.
going Del Piero.
He's
going Del Piero. I know.
Wait, loyalty. The guy played in Syria B for a year.
Yeah, but that's because of match fixing.
Oh yeah, he didn't do the match fixing.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Dodgy stuff.
For me, it's Del Piero. But I like both of them. I love Totti, but Del Piero's the one. But there's one player better than both. Robbie Baggio.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
What a player.
I'm too young, I'll be honest with you. I seen Totti at the end of
Robbie
his
Baggio, man. The divine ponytail was my favorite footballer when I was a youngster. Just to get it out there.
By Isak, loan them. Go on, Are. Cal Paris, thank you so much for your super chats, guys. By the way, Totti, a one-man club, rare nowadays.
Yeah, but Del Piero practically did it. He went away to like Adelaide or something when he was 30 something. That was everything, innit? You can't knock.
Yeah, but Del Piero was
yeah.
a better club. He had better players around him. At only 1 point, Totti had better
Like
players.
everybody's going crazy on Robbie Baggio, mate. Robbie Baggio. Even though he missed that penalty, yeah, made me cry. You know what? The first time I cried over football, I've only cried twice when I was younger. Eric Cantona goal against Liverpool in the FA Cup final, and when Robbie Baggio missed his penalty. They're the only two.
And then you became an Argentina fan.
Oh yeah, I remember he used to
Close the show.
I remember
that. Okay, people, smash the like.
That's how cute to leave.
Okay, people, thank you so much. Thank you so much. What a show, man. What a show. We'll be back with the Transfer Daily tomorrow. Let's see, because keep your ears and eyes peeled, because anything can happen at any given moment. So we'll see you tomorrow. Then we might, if there's something breaks, the evening slot is always there just in case something does. And then we're back again tomorrow night. I think Avi's back. Jake might be back. And well wishes to Ben as well, who's feeling a bit under the weather at the moment.
Got him under lockers.
No. He's not like you, okay? He's actually sent me an audio today, a WhatsApp audio, and he didn't sound well. He was full of cold as well. So a bit of hay fever kicking in as well. And I just think it just got a bit worse. Bilal's in the house. 500 likes almost.
Come on, guys, let's get it up. Well, before you go, smash it.
MHS is wanting Chip and Chin. They're back on Friday, as far as I know. And that's it. Okay, people, we'll catch you. Smash a like, please. Smash a like. And as I tell you, we're still 46% of our viewers do not subscribe to the channel. I think that's wrong. Please, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And if you're feeling generous, head over, just like all the community did today, and became a BNR Ultra. I'll be adding them onto this exclusive WhatsApp group, and then we'll see you tomorrow. What are you guys laughing at?
No, guys, anyway, move on.
No, I need to read it. Where is it?
FA. It's what FA wrote. He's a member. Chini, get yourself a red light therapy cup.
Anyway, chutti maar.
Okay. Asim shows the shirt. Message me on Twitter. I'll show you it. Take care, people. Thank you very much. Take care and good night. Bye-bye for now.
Okay.